Hello, my friends. Let's keep talking about the crypto predictions. Today is the 6th of May, and we see that we seem to have stopped the rally, at least this very crazy pump. It was around 6 to 7 consecutive green days for many coins. We pumped all the way since the 29th of April, which, if you recall my predictions for the last week, I told you that the 29th was the strongest or had the strongest likelihood of being a good day for a long because it had four powers. It was by far the day with the most powers on the bullish side. I was also expecting some retraces around the fourth and the fifth. They didn't really play out. Price continued going up and up and up non-stop. So, like I was saying, we saw on many coins around 6 to 7 consecutive green days. So from there, we see that today, the 6th, and also tomorrow, the 7th, they have bearish powers. That means potentially better suited for shorts today and tomorrow. So if we actually take a look at the high of today morning, at least in my time zone, we on Solana almost reached 90, and from there to the current position, it's a good long for the time. Okay, it can go even lower because tomorrow is Tuesday. I mean Thursday, Thursday. So tomorrow Thursday is going to, it's always the worst day of the week according to Velo, which is the metric, the website that basically just reunites statistics about the worst and best days of the week. So that makes sense to see the price still go down tomorrow. However, on the bullish side, for the longs, potentially on the 8 or very near the 8. So if that plays out, it could be very, very interesting because it will be only 2 days of corrections according to this, today and tomorrow, maybe all the way to the 8. So 2 or 3 red days, possibly from now. And if that does happen, it will basically stay in line with what we have seen on April as well, because as you can see, even on Solana, which was the worst performing coin on April, we still never saw more than 3 consecutive red days, mostly just 2 or 3. So it makes sense. That means eventually the price is going to pop back up again. So a small retrace from here and then another pump all the way, which should start around, like I said, on the 8th. And if it's very volatile, the 9 could offer some short opportunities. So what I can see, and this is only potential, okay, because we don't really know how the price is going to go and behave in the next coming days in terms of strength. So what this can mean is that we could actually see some very volatile days, a very powerful and quick retrace followed by another very powerful and quick pump or another impulse. So that's for this week. We'll have to wait until the end of the week to get new predictions. But if we take a look at the other predictions, the one that I gave many weeks already, almost on the last 2 weeks of April, I believe I made these predictions. These are different predictions, different magnitudes, so obviously more long term. And we can see it correlates to a for long around the 6 to the 8, and also short around the 9 to 11. So many of these days correlate exactly identical to this other prediction style. After that, another long around the 11 or 13, so going down from there, and shorting around the 17 or 19 of May. I also have another prediction. I believe it's this one. Um yeah, chart's getting kind of messy, but neutral days, because mostly in yellow, I really don't know what's going to happen there. I mean, it could be very volatile, or at the same time, it could be very rangish, because many of these days correlate and overlap with each other on the long and the short. So we'll have to see what's going on, what's going to happen for that day. But if I were to say, the lowest point in this month of May is going to be possibly found on the very last days, around the very last 8 to 10 days of the month. especially targeting the ones that say long. So, for example, the 20 to 25, they could be possibly the lowest points in the entire month. Also, we got another magnitude even higher, which also tells me that potentially we're going to see a low around the 24th of May. So that makes sense, like I was saying. And if we go to the highest position, okay, if this wasn't the top, which was already very overextended, then that means around the 11 we could see the highest position. Okay, this is potential because I'm still testing this new style of predictions. I still have some more work to do. I'm still doing even more research to find the best style, the best technique, and improve the accuracy of all of this. But by the way it's going, and by the way that you can see with your eyes, if you have been following the work, you can already guess that this is a very accurate style. Okay, we're getting around 80 to 90% accuracy because all of this week was 100% correct. It's only these 2 days where I was expecting a retrace around the 4th of May, maybe earlier, around the 3rd. They didn't really play out because the entire structure is extremely overextended. Okay, it's not very common to see 7 consecutive green days. Very, very uncommon. But now let's take a look at Bitcoin and Ethereum. So Bitcoin, like I was saying, I mean, Bitcoin already very extreme deviation, extremely extreme. I never even thought we will see 80k, let alone almost 83k. This is extreme. Now, 83k, which is this level around here, is a resistance in this new indicator. Which, by the way, clients will get this very soon. Okay, I'm going with the final test, but it's improving because now I can get accuracy for even 1 day time frame. It's only a matter of time till I get so refined that it can also get some very good accuracy on long, even larger time frames. Okay, so this is a good resistance. The next resistance after this is around 87, at least on the daily time frame. This is going to be extreme because I really don't think it's going to reach this level. But if it does, it's going to be a complete deviation of the cycle. In fact, it's already a complete deviation. But if it actually reaches this level, it's going to be cataclysmic because that basically means the 4 year cycle is over, at least for Bitcoin, because there's no other way I can explain this. I mean, if you go to Ethereum, it's still very much in range. It's still very much with what I was expecting of Ethereum, not higher highs forming. So the structure is bearish for Ethereum and even worse for Solana. Some other coins, like for example, Zcash. Zcash was even more extreme than Bitcoin. I mean, look at this. Look at this stuff. This is even higher than that we saw on the last year, except for the obviously all-time high. Now, this is only very, very small difference compared to the all-time high. Okay, only 22%. So usually it has to be an extreme difference. Okay, this really is extreme. I mean, if this continues going up on Zcash as well, it's going to completely invalidate the cycle. I mean, we could get even an all-time high for Zcash this year, which is, like I was saying, an extreme anomaly. I really don't see that happening, in my opinion, and in my honest opinion. Okay, this is only my opinion. You don't have to agree with me, but in my opinion, this is a very obviously manipulated move. It's obvious that they want to trap as many longs as possible because they want to give the impression that the bear market is over and that we're going to instantly see a bull rally once again. And many people are already calling for a new all-time high this year, and even some of the most moderate are calling for 100k this year, at least in the coming 2 months. I mean, that's extreme. That's If that does happen, it's going to completely invalidate the cycle. But in my opinion, again, I don't see any reason for that to happen because it's only Bitcoin and others, very, very few coins like Zcash, which have this extreme deviation. Every single other coin, like Solana, like Bitcoin, I mean, like Ethereum and others, they are very much still bearish. Okay, there are no signs of a invalidation of the cycle. I mean, look at AVAX, for example. Okay, so I don't know, guys. That's all I want to say to you right now. So wait for more predictions. Thanks for watching. Okay, follow the work, subscribe, and like. I'll see you guys next time.